you have to write an essay, but you hate brainstorming. Don't skip the planning phase. Instead, save your essay by using this quick brainstorming technique. The way this works is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to divide your paper into 4 quadrants. It doesn't have to be the whole piece of paper. You really won't use that much of it. And then we're going to write save. We put it in this order for a couple of reasons. It does spell save, and that's what we're doing to your essay. But the other part of that is that we are going to work in the first 2 quadrants in order to get started. There are 2 ways to do that. We know that A is going to stand for argument, and the V stands for vocabulary. You can read the prompt, know exactly what you're going to say, and start building that thesis statement, which is your argument. But for brainstorming, maybe you just know the words that you need to talk about, the terms that are going to be in there, and then you create an argument from there. The S stands for the support, so we're looking for our topic sentences there. And the examples are going to be the actual samples from the writing that help us form those paragraphs of the body. So let's take a look at a quick little topic over here. Take just a moment to read it to yourself. I may cut you off before you're finished. Based on what we see here, there are a couple of things that stand out. We see the word estrangement, estranged from society, so we know that estrangement is something that's definitely going to have to be in there. Also, we talk about the damaging effects of specifically something called alienation. So it's something that we need to make sure that we understand. And then we figure out what is all this estrangement coming from. So we go back and we take a look at it. Here's the key part here, due to some aspect of his or her nature or convictions. So there's something about it that's key here. And also, we have to pick a character, not a group of characters. So we go back to our save method to see what that looks like for us. If we get ready to start, we do have some vocabulary, but other than some generic vocabulary, we're not even sure what we're going to write about. So we start brainstorming. So I'm thinking some books that I've read. So I remember Lenny from Of Mice and Men. And then I'm thinking of The Bluest Eye. She's definitely sort of left out there, poor Porpicola. Hester Prynne, my diva of badness. And then, of course, Gatsby himself for The Great Gatsby. So I'm thinking of these 3 books, but if I'm going to talk about Estranged from the Society, I would say that these 2 are kind of in the running for me, but I think I'm going to go with Hester for today. So I go back over to the save method and we start to put some pieces together. So I'm thinking Hester, Scarlet Letter, and I start to pick those vocabulary pieces again. So I'm going to put estranged over here. She's definitely has alienation, definitely damaging effects. And if we're talking about the Scarlet A, we should put it in there, sin, adultery, Scarlet A. Anything that's dealing with that, we're definitely going to put the Puritan morality in there. Um, we're talking about why she was estranged, so I'm going to put consequences because that's definitely she started all this. And then I'm going to put the word cultivates because I think they cultivate a culture, but at the same time, she has sort of this idea of who she is. So it's just one of those words I think I'm really going to use for that. So when I start to look at this, I'm still looking at how this estrangement is coming into play. So I don't need to write a whole thesis statement yet because it will develop as my paragraph develops. But instead I double check and I'm going to look at this. And here's kind of what I'm looking for. I think Hester's sin plus the Puritan morality and the fact that she wears this A for a variety of reasons means she's a pariah in that society. So all of these things due to some aspect of her nature, conviction, something she did, gives that estrangement. But I'm going to put pariah in there. It's a little stronger, so then I have estranged coming back. So they're connected for me. From there, I want to talk about her sin. So the topic sentence is going to talk about how the sin offends Puritan morality and that equals division. And I think, well, from there, after the sin, she has the A. So there's a social separation. But the A is also a spiritual separation, and it's a sign that there's no redemption. So in my essay, I know that she seeks redemption at some point, but that's not what I'm arguing here. So I'm going to leave that part out a little bit. I don't need to acknowledge a whole lot of it. I'm just going to prove my thesis. So I start looking for examples from the book that prove these. Um, we prove that there's a separation. They shun her. There's social alienation. Even there's a legacy of it. The kids start treating her badly and Pearl as well. And then finally, it's emblazoned on her chest, it's in her heart. She's an emotional and spiritual outcast. Forgiveness is not possible. I have some examples, I have a place to go, but at the same time, I'm not bogging down in this. Just very quick, make an argument with the vocabulary or make an argument, figure out which vocabulary needs to be there. We've got topic sentences with examples for them, and we also have a nice little flow of our essay already. Now, if I had written it a different way, I probably could have gone back in and said, okay, this one needs to go here, this one needs to go here. I can always change the order here, but really, as it is, we're doing okay. So the order is fine. We're kind of going in order this way. It's still pretty strong, and then our brainstorming is finished.